Hello everyone and welcome to today's No FOMO Charts Technical Analysis live stream where we look at stock charts, crypto charts, and requests. Today is a Saturday night and I'm streaming a day early right now because of what's going on in the stock market and the economy. So if you have a request, go ahead and say hi and just let me know in the live chat, or feel free to just enjoy the live stream. We are still in stock market earnings season right now in the USA. Here are just a few global brands that I've written down on the list: Lennar in real estate, Guess clothing, Sentinel One, Adobe probably is going to get a lot of coverage, FedEx, Five Below retail store, Dollar General store might be interesting, Signet Jewelers, and Ballard Power, just to name a few. Now, this week is more about economic data releases, as well as the Silicon Valley Bank bankruptcy fallout. But in terms of this week, we have quite a bit of economic data that's coming out in the USA: CPI, core CPI, PPI, core PPI, retail sales, core retail sales, manufacturing index, unemployment claims, consumer sentiment, inflation expectations. These top three are probably going to be the most quoted this week in terms of data, because this is the consumer inflation, the producer inflation, and then retail sales, if that's going up or down. Now, just some current news. If you haven't seen the news already, we're still in USA stock market earnings season. We still have global inflation risk, central bank interest rate hikes, which might happen in about 2 weeks from now, recession risk, depending on your country. Now, the big problem that happened this past week in America was Silicon Valley Bank went bankrupt. And this is a major financial crisis that affects other bank stocks, corporations, the stock market as a whole, even the cryptocurrency market, and now the USA SEC, the government, and the economy at large. So it's a pretty big problem. It's the number 2 biggest financial bankruptcy since 2008. It's a big deal. There's a lot of corporate exposure and money in that company that went bankrupt. Also on the cryptocurrency side, US SEC rejects the VanEck spot Bitcoin ETF application for the 3rd time. And USDC stablecoin is not really that much of a stablecoin if it has 15% volatility after the SIVB, Silicon Valley Bank bankruptcy, and the cryptocurrency sell-off, which we'll talk about in the second half of this stream. One moment, please, while I bring up the chart. Hello and welcome, everybody, to the stream. Here I am streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch, and Discord. We're going to do stocks, crypto, and if you have some requests, just let me know before I move on. So before we get started, let me take a sip of water, and then we'll get started. Okay, so we're back. Let's look at Dow Jones. Now, DIA. Okay, remember what I said about DIA last week? If you understand candle patterns, I said, this is a shooting star. Right here on shooting star, right on the stream day. Shooting star candle pattern could be bearish. And then if we get the bearish candle, red engulfing candle, that is an evening star pattern. That is bad. So we hit that lower high, and then we hit this lower low at the support. And this is all SIVB bankruptcy problem. But it was forecastable. Okay, some people were asking me this week, like, why did this happen? And how did anybody know? It's actually, you could just look at it on the charts right here, and you could tell there's something bad is going to happen in this market right now. Now, was it going to be a bankruptcy? Not many people knew that. But in terms of, are we going to get a pullback? It was definitely forecastable, because this is on a 1-hour chart. This is that shooting star. We hit that resistance at the half heart line. That's bearish divergence, bearish momentum on the RSI, on the hourly. We're losing that. Short that down. We have another 5-15 minute overbought, and then we had the short down. So we start downtrending. That's not good. It's not going up. We had a death cross on March 7th. So it is definitely forecastable. That's why I look at the charts. On the weekly, we did have this bearish engulfing candle on the weekly, obviously. Now let's go to SPY. SPY, same deal. We hit, just to rewind, 2 weeks ago stream saying this is the support level at this pink asterisk for that long. But last week's stream, this is a shooting star pattern again, which formed into an evening star triple candle reversal pattern to the downside. Very textbook pattern. Now, on the hourly, we fast forward, zoom in a little bit. We hit that overbought region, 84 RSI, pretty high. You could draw a trend line here. Once we got that broken to the downside, you could see right at this blue circle, lost that support. Post-market, pre-market, short, down. Then we had a little bit of 5-minute oversold, 15-minute oversold bounce, short continuation again on the bad news. That's just how trading works. Now, if we back up on this, we can see we've lost the support. We lost the support. Now, what we're looking at is, if you zoom out, you could see there's a larger downward facing wedge now on this price. We lost the 200 EMA, all of that. It hasn't death crossed yet. So I'm anticipating at some point when this bank fear subsides, half of it is just fear and half of it is very, very real in terms of the psychology, right? So low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So once that lower low, whenever that bottoms out, we should hopefully get one more lower high bounce. Now it's starting to downtrend on the daily as well in here. All right, so this is still a significant area of battle. We just kind of lost down that lower high, but look at the lower low. If I bring up a Bollinger Band, sometimes because we have a lot of volatility, I'll make it orange and blue. So the outer bands are orange. The center band, the 20 MA, is the blue. So it still hasn't really popped down extreme out of that Bollinger Band yet. So I'm kind of anticipating, I'm looking for that because shorts there, they've been waiting for this opportunity, right, to short down with the evening star, boom, short that down. So if we get some serious continuation, I'm looking for a volume climax and seeing for some lower high reversal if you're a day trader or a long swing trader. But this could be a longer drawn out process in terms of trying to catch that bottom. Now, I do see here on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, it looks like in terms of the bottom oscillators, MACD and RSI, that it's starting to consolidate on the price a little bit, and we're starting to see a little bit of momentum. It might be short-lived, however, right? And this might not be the quote-unquote bottom of the market, so to speak. It's just a simple oversold setup that if it has one more leg down, right, just anticipate it. We could try to catch that if it goes one more leg down. I want this thing to get super oversold. Let the shorts just push it down as much as possible. And if you're a long, or if I'm a long, educational setup is try to catch them on the short squeeze. Now, 2 weeks ago, I did say I am still short the market. So I'm actually a bear myself right now. So I'm just talking about future setups. Now, QQQ, we go to NASDAQ right now. We can see we hit this 50% retrace. This is a great example of using support and resistance on a daily in real time. If you just rewind my streams, you can see I wrote the support right here about that 303, 304 in this blue line. Now, where's the resistance at 304? The support down here at where? 287, 287. And then we just went from 304 down to 287. So technical analysis works if we do it right, if we use it correctly. It's just a tool. We're looking at price and volume here. But we can get ahead of the news, so to speak, because sometimes the news is going to happen after the price moves. So it can work both ways. We get news first, then the price moves. Or the price moves first, up or down, volatile, and then the news reacts to it. So it's a balancing act between both news and technical price patterns. Now, don't want to harp on that too much. So where's the next level? We can see this thing's already starting to downtrend. QQQ, low, high, low. We hit that shooting star into an evening star pattern into a pullback down. Low, high, low, high. So if we lose the support right about like 289 here, then our next target down is about 280. Then the next target down is about 270. Our lowest low of 2023 is down here at 260. We would have to have some major crash, like more financial problems, more corporate problems, more corporations saying, uh-oh, we had a lot of funds invested in SIVB, Silicon Valley Bank. Now we have a problem too in terms of another corporation. So I'm kind of on the lookout for that in the next 1 or 2 weeks before the FOMC meeting. On the weekly as well, we did have this pullback, and you can see on the weekly we had this kind of flag pattern, and that's kind of weak, and we broke down to the downside. So that's an indication on the price side that we're not going up right now. If this thing falls down, we had one hammer attempt and then we had bad news, so it's not going up right now in terms of long-term uptrend. If I read that Silicon Valley, there's two banks actually that went bankrupt. Silvergate, the crypto-based bank company, Silvergate company went bankrupt, and then Silicon Valley Bank went bankrupt. So there's like 2 bankruptcies this week. SIVB, I'll just call it SIVB. So we could see because SIVB, they said because interest rates are going high, it's causing a huge problem on their balance sheets, on their basically they had a negative, up to negative $1 billion balance. So that's terrible. Now, on the hourly of QQQ, hitting this support level, we do have the death cross. Now pull up the BB, the Bollinger Bands. It's not really extreme on the Bollinger Band. Whereas way back here on March 2nd, it did get to that extreme support level. It tapped that RSI and the 5-minute 15 oversold, and then we bounced up. On this QQQ, it's building. It's happening there. Yes, one could argue there is bullish momentum, but at the same time, I could see one attempt crash back down, and then that would be the entry probably somewhere down here in the 281, 282 if you're a swing trader. Try to be patient. If I zoom out, turn off all the oscillators, turn off this BB, try to get a trend line going on. Also, the break of this trend line, if you know your trend lines, that was bad. So it's still in a consolidation. Someone could say, wait, isn't this bullish consolidation? Possible. But if we lose that support at 288 and we keep crashing, that it's not a consolidation pattern anymore. Let's refresh the chat. All right, let's move on. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Let's go to GLD. Gold. Now, gold has a nice little bounce because sometimes gold acts as a safe haven in terms of times of volatile pullbacks. We did have the support right here above 168. That's the 200 EMA as well. So it's double support, double bottom support right above the 200 EMA red. Good. Now we could see this about 2% volatility. If we have a continuation breakout, this thing could go, let's say, to 176. Excuse me 1 second. Okay, so it could go to 176 or we could go to 180. Watching out for that. This is that kind of play I'm talking about where you have a golden cross and you have a pullback and it's going to ride and bounce off of that. Many traders know that that's definitely a setup and it's possible. So watch out for that. Now on the weekly, if that does not happen, we're just getting a support test bounce off the EMA. Now if it's a true uptrend, we have to break above 180 on GLD. 180. This is the resistance. We went from resistance down to support play. So now is 2 scenarios. Is this going to bounce up and break out and go sky high? Or is it going to bounce up, attempt the break, and then break down? So basically lower high, and then we can pull back down on the bearish side. Something to watch out for. I'll just keep this one on the daily analysis. Moving on to silver, SLV. We had a little bit of a bounce on SLV, but you can see here, in terms of the price, if I just turn everything off, we went from an uptrend. This is why I love technical analysis, how it's so useful to get through times of uncertainty and volatile nature. We went from an uptrend to a sideways consolidation to a downtrend. This is educational wise. Understanding these plays or the reverse of this, where you have a downtrend into a consolidation sideways and back into an uptrend reversal for longs. This is a bear setup right here. This is a bearish play, understanding this pattern. Basically, Wyckoff theory, accumulation up, distribution sideways, markdown down, right? Understanding that. So bears or people who just want to sell off, this was definitely the play, right? I marked this in the rectangle for several weeks saying if we don't break out, we're going to break down and go down. So obviously a large short, right? You had to wait a long time. I'm already thinking ahead. You had to wait a long time. It was like 40 days, but you had a lot of volatility here for SLV. Now, we bring in some of these EMAs. Now it's obviously downtrending. I'm probably anticipating some kind of oversold bounce. We already had it a little bit. So some of the shorts are giving up, some of the bears. But until we have a major breakout above this resistance trend line that I'm drawing right now, you can see if it fails, now I have the two scenarios set up. I always think long and short. I always think bull and bear. Sometimes I don't always say it on stream, but on my own personal analysis, I use at least 2 to 3 scenario mentality. So you have to think about it like this. It's the price either going up, it's either going sideways, or it's going to go down. It's just up, sideways, or down on multiple time frames. Whatever your time frame is, that's the only way it's going to go, basically, in my mind, to simplify it. If you want to even make it more simple, it's just up or down. But there is sometimes a sideways. So if we look at the top resistance, where's my target right there? About $19.10. That's also the 50% Fibonacci retrace. If it goes all the way down again, where's my support level? Right here, about 18.38, horizontal line, or X marks the spot, maybe like $18 right here. Just watching out for it. It's downtrending right now. There is no other, in terms of price, very simple. There could be other ways to think about it, but I keep it super simple. It's downtrending. Yes, we did have a little bit of this bullish divergence momentum building here on the MACD and the RSI. Great. So if that happens, breakout, retest, and then uptrend. But if it hasn't happened yet, market is closed right now on Saturday. Take a quick look at USO. All right, this one talking about the price going sideways. This bunch of looks like chicken scratch on the screen. But if you look at the blue box, we're basically tightening. It's not actually blue box anymore. Let's tighten it. When I chart for real, I use actual real trend lines. I use the blue so people can see what I'm talking about as a highlighter. But now it's turned into this kind of slightly upward wedge. What's the volatility of this measure? Move about 10%. So it's like silver. If it breaks down, 10% target to the downside, maybe a 5 to 10% target, but $59 to the downside. If it breaks out, 10% straight up. That's basically the top of my X, the 79.73. This is an old target. But you can see it's still stuck below the turn EMA. We're in a secret death cross right here. I'll circle that for next time on US oil. Now UNG, again, my idea in terms of it did get super oversold, and then we had almost a 40% volatility move. So in terms of my idea, the first target has been completed. My first resistance was hit. Now, what I'm noticing here on UNG is we could get continued downtrend continuation. What I'm seeing is there could be an upside down head and shoulders. That's maybe with the neckline right at about $9. So if it starts reversing again, I might look into this to say, wait a second, we might reverse, but UNG does not always respond to technicals. So the flip side of this is if this is the lower high of very weak, then we should have a lower low crash on this. I'm anticipating that $7 or below. But it's, for me, very suspicious looking pattern, very suspicious. Okay. In this particular stream, I do want to look at some of the ETFs in terms of the sector ETFs, because people asked me this week, was there any warning? How did we know this can happen? Why is the stock market a scam? Why is the economy so bad right now? A lot of people say that to me. So what I'm going to show is We look at some of these ETFs here in the USA in terms of the sector ETFs, and you go straight away to XLF. What can we see on XLF? This is educational. If I erased everything, turned off all my indicators, now I'm looking at pure price on the daily chart. What do I see? Immediate bearish pattern jumping out on the screen. What is it? It is the head and shoulders pattern. That's not always 100% bearish. No pattern's 100%, but it is telling me the following. All right, we have the support neckline right here. There's the tool. We can even make it more real. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And then neckline is that yellow line or this blue line right here. Now, if we measure that move, the larger side of the head, 7% to downside. Once we lost that, where do we go? Exactly 7%, literally. So technical analysis can work if the market conditions line up in the market's favor or the favor of your trade. Now, the second target down is way down here at this $30 level, which is a previous level of support. All right, so this being able to identify these patterns in a matter of seconds is what separates, I would say, skill level. And then the next part is, what is the trader going to do? Are they going to take action on it? Are they going to short it if they have the account size and the experience, the risk management? Or if you're long, are you just going to wait? Understanding that this thing's going to crash. And so whenever it bottoms out somewhere probably down here in the upper 30s dollars is where's my next long entry, right? If somebody's long only, that's okay. I know plenty of people who are long only. They don't short or they don't use any leverage or anything. So it's just a matter of a trader's strategy. So this was very, very forecastable in terms of the price crash. Even if I had no idea what Silicon Valley Bank was, what Silvergate Company was, if I have no idea what anything is in the news, I just look at this chart and say, wait a second, something bad is happening here. And then the final signal was, again, the shooting star into the triple candle evening star bearish pattern, broke down of support, doji, we're not sure what's going on, and then crash. Definitely forecastable. So sometimes taking a look at these ETFs on your own time is, there's a payoff there. Now we're in oversold territory, and I'm from my experience, I don't try to jump into oversold setups immediately. I'm very kind of judicious with my setups to try to understand where's the true bottom, not just one little tiny baby bounce up to an EMA and then reject down. I'm like, where's the real bottom of this move? Then maybe I'll long it. On the hourly, we are seeing, I'm not going to go too in depth with this, but lower low, lower high, lower low. Okay, stuck below the EMAs. This is normal. Now we're seeing a little bit of bullish momentum on this hourly. It could take a couple hours or days for this thing to set up, but we're seeing the sim triangle forming, symmetrical triangle. It is post-market right now, so I'm not gonna try to play this just yet, right? You'll see the move in pre-market conditions because you have Asia, you also have Europe and Middle East. Traders and investors, they get exposure to it as well in terms of the global ETFs, the 24/7 stocks ETFs. Now, XLF, that's one example. Let's go to XLE. I'm not going to do every single one in depth, but we just visually see, like, was there any warning signs? XLE, there's resistance, downtrend on the price. There's resistance right here at 92, and then it's downtrending. So trying to long into a downtrend might not work all the time, right? Depends on where in the downtrend are we. So we're about to hit this 200 EMA. We got 4 hour. Heading into that oversold territory. Next one, XOU utilities. Again, utilities, if I look at the price and I'm honest with myself, there is, we went from an uptrend to the consolidation sideways to the downtrend. Being able to identify price trend and where are we going in the price instead of questioning, like question mark in my mind, like a trader saying, I don't know what's going on. A technical analyst, we should be able to understand some direction greater than 50%. Are we going up or are we going down? So in terms of this formation, more than 50%, we're going up long that. When we go sideways at 50%, maybe 55% long because of the golden cross. Once we start losing that, okay, 60% we're going down, short, and then death cross, okay, greater than 60% we're about to go down. That's just kind of like the balance scale that's going on in my mind on the price. And then any news catalyst that perpetuates it up or down can boost that in my mind. So we're in a death cross right on utilities. Now, in terms of it did bounce, great. Did it hit super oversold? No, that's why I'm waiting. Just wait for it. I'm waiting patiently. Because the shorts, they love attacking. And then once it goes too far down, they're going to close themselves. Then longs hop on. That's just how the market works. All right, very quickly, industrial, still in the uptrend, but that one also shooting star there on the pullback. In terms of the healthcare fund, this has been in a downtrend for 3 months. And part of that is because COVID-19 infections, the emergency of the mandates are ending in America in terms of the emergency mandates. So a lot of the health stocks and some of these vaccine stocks got shorted down for 3 to 6 months straight. Now, let's say consumer staples, still downtrending below the 200 EMA. It's not good for now. XLY. Now, this is an old setup. See, this is my style. Okay. XLY here on consumer discretionary. This was this particular support setup. This is what I'm talking about. Trying to capture it when it gets kind of on this extreme down here. This is what I like. This is my style. I'm not a continuation trader unless I have to, right? I like catching these bottoms and you have a larger margin of safety in terms of, you're not, almost got stopped out here, but in terms of initiating the long here and then trying to let it go all the way is I try to catch on the bottom, get it, stop loss myself, profit target out, so I'm not going to lose half or all my profit. It's just risk management. But in terms of the bounce, literally lost that trend line, lower high, starting to downtrend now. If you're a day trader, you might be saying, wait a second, there's oversold setups all over the place. So yes, there are. But I'm a swing trader investor, so I'm looking at the long term. Hopefully we can try to get an upside down head and shoulders, let this thing crash a little bit more, and then we try to retake that lower high bounce. Material sector just lost that 200 EMA, but it's still generally in its wedge. You can see that it's still generally inside of there. So we could have this little Morningstar reversal that could happen in the future, or we could have a rejection down and then there'll be a further short opportunity. So not every golden cross is real. It doesn't work 100% of the time. Okay, XLRE, real estate. Now we know some companies have exposure to SIVB. It's a very interesting chart. Sometimes I like looking at the real estate chart. We always hear about real estate news all the time. Get a Fibonacci going up. We have this, the multiple trend lines, easily drawable, connect multiples. Okay, so this is the resistance, the support on the top. Resistance top, support on the bottom. Sometimes I get that flip. Now, if we baby Fibonacci, right into that 618. So I'm looking at, we also lost this trend line. All right, so now we're starting to see, we had the uptrend, hit this reversal pattern, rejection down, market can't take it. We're starting to reject down. Now, question is, are we going to bounce here at this 618 to get this lower high, right back up to 37.45? Or are we just going to crash back down to 34 and maybe hit the big 618 here at $33? That's the kind of mentality I'm thinking about in terms of future setups. Okay, tech sector, XLK is different. This looks like the Apple chart. It's a very large market cap there. But in terms of where are we? Well, XLK is still kind of on the top side of its resistance. Hasn't quite crashed yet. So tech sector has held up. Financial sector, healthcare have crashed down. But the tech sector has tried to survive. Mostly because of earnings. So you can see here that this long-term resistance is acting as support. We hit this lower low, lower high. So I would watch out for the 134.70 range to see, is it going to crash down or not? Because the actual support, the double support is somewhere down here at 128.27, just like that S&P 500. upstairs uptrend pattern. That's the support level. Let me put a star here for next time. Because we want to, I want to make sure if that's going to be a good spot. Instead of just putting a star, if you have a account here on TradingView, you can Alt A and actually put alert. That's actually better than a star. Okay, so I just clicked Alt A, or you could right click on the blank spot on your chart, add the alert, and then you have to tell the interface what do you want to do. We're talking about select your stock ticker, and then whenever the price crosses what price value. So I'll just leave it here at 128.26. Do I want it to happen one time or every time? And then if you have a premium or higher paid account, you can select the expiration and the alert name. So I'm just going to write potential daily support on XLK play and just create that. And now the red dotted cross line, I think I had it on every time. If you want to edit it, just right click it again, edit, and you can look at it one more time, or you could delete it. It's important to have that as well. Now, the flip side is true. If we start rallying again, and let's say the Federal Reserve does something abnormal, saying they're not going to, if it's 25 basis point instead of 50 basis point, and then we have a rally, okay. I'm going to add another alert on the top side and just say potential breakout on XOK. Now, this is long alerts in my mind, and just type long here. It might seem so basic, but now, to be honest, if you're on TradingView on computer, desktop, laptop, or mobile, and you have your alerts to the app open, now I don't have to stare at this chart every single hour. I can just check the alerts maybe like once a day, or just let the alert come to me. So that's the swing trading mentality, is you kind of take, I would say, maybe 4 steps back from what everybody else is doing and start preparing for, if it goes down, where am I going to buy? Maybe here 127.64. If it goes up, where might I buy? Well, if we break out above 144, something like that, I might buy. That's the mentality of a swing trader. And then just kind of have to take the punches, so to speak. If there's bad news, okay, let it happen. Now what's the next step? If there's good news, great, let it happen. Now what am I going to do, right? So you have to have some kind of plan of action. It's not just a plan, or we're not just talking at the screen or thinking. It's a plan of action, plan of buying or selling or holding, and also a plan of risk management as well, which I'll show later. So this applies to crypto as well. It's not just these. Okay, well, I got to speed up here. So XLC, in this little bit of a downtrend, losing that 200 EMA, and we can see the large support somewhere down here about 50.62. See if that ever hits. SMH, the semiconductor ETF, still doing okay. We're doing okay here, hanging on in the SMH. Now it's up cross, golden cross, will go that for next time, but the support is somewhere around 229 right here. I'm going to skip some individual stocks right now because we just went through basically almost all the major sectors of the USA stock market. Very important to keep an eye on that. As you can see on SMH, there's no head and shoulders. You rewind to XLF, there is a head and shoulders. All right, so just taking a quick look at that. Thank you for the follow, appreciate it. All right, let me check for requests, for stock requests before I move on. And I do want to point out that it is very natural. It is very natural for when the stock market crashes, most people leave the market. When the stock market crashes, most people psychologically, mentally, they leave the market and they check out. If they have losses, unfortunately, they have losses and they're going to take a break, or their, psychology needs a reset, emotional reset. But if you're already short the market, I got to keep watching. I have to keep looking and seeing, okay, where am I going to exit my particular short? Am I going to open up a long? How am I going to manage this trade? It's very dynamic unless it's already pre-planned. So let's go to crypto. I don't see any requests this Saturday. People are probably doing something else. Market's closed right now. Let's go to TOTAL. Thank you so much for watching and following. I am streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch, and we have a Discord group as well where I'm trying to build a community of competent and good technical analysts, chartists, and traders. So if you like this stream, you learned something, please go ahead and consider giving me a follow on any of those platforms. Thank you. Now let's go to TOTAL. So we have to remember, cryptocurrencies are a form of digital money or digital asset or digital gold, whatever you want to call it, digital coins, tokens, and NFTs. So it is financial technology. So when the NASDAQ crashes or you have like a financial crisis, it's going to affect cryptocurrency. And we also have interest rate as well. That's probably going to raise in about 2 weeks on March 22nd. So that's getting kind of forecasted into the market right now. Now, the big question people are asking me for crypto is, was this forecastable in crypto? And the answer is yes. So TOTAL, daily chart, price patterns. What are we looking at? There was the old bullish pattern here. See with the breakout. Almost a descending triangle, but we went bull. Breakout. Perfect. Now, measure move of what? Measure move of almost 9%. So 9 to 18% target. We went way above that 30%. Almost triple the target. Hit this resistance zone. Okay, now I pull up some EMAs and RSI, and I see, oh, we're actually losing momentum. So I remember saying this in about 1 or 2 streams ago is, yes, we hit this 1 trillion market cap, but it's starting to lose this momentum right here. You could very visually see it on the charts. We lose that momentum, there's going to be a pullback. We lose the support, there's a deep pullback. So what's forecastable? On a weekly, we have a double top right here. Very, very obvious. We went from double bottom to double top. Sell, sell, sell. Get out of there. Stop loss. Take profit. Go, go, go. If somebody's a swing trader, day trader, got to move fast. Crypto's 3 times faster than stocks. So you need alerts. You need profit targets. Automatic in terms of, it's not as good as TradingView. Like a lot of crypto exchanges, you can only put 1 order. So you can only put 1 entry and then 1 stop loss, or 1 profit target. So some exchanges not that easy. So you have to put alerts first, or use like a trading bot, or connect it to TradingView and then have your triple order set up. So triple order sometimes can save you as a swing trader, or your alerts, either one. Now, we're looking at 4 hours. It did get a little oversold, but again, I'm not convinced this is the bottom yet. I'm not convinced. It's only been 2 days, and everyone's kind of finding out the repercussions of how far does Silvergate and Silicon Valley, SIVB, how deep does that go? We did have an oversold bounce. On the hourly low, it's kind of in this 57 RSI range. Not quite, still downtrending, not quite in an uptrend. Nice fallout in terms of a technical setup. This is very interesting. It's not good, but it's good to learn from. Is it low, low, high, low, low, high? What happens when we lose support? Crash. That's why I don't try to trade every single setup on crypto anymore. I understand. If I want value, if I want margin of safety, I wait for a crash. Where was it? 1 day ago. Last night. Hit that deep. Crash. Then you get that 5 to 6% volatility on Bitcoin, which is a lot on total. All right. So I did say on last stream, let me go to Bitcoin now so you get some prices. Bitcoin, USD. Remember, a star marks the spot support. We lost the support, but we could always go to 20,000. I remember saying that last week. 20,000. We could even crash back down to 16 or 15,000. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but it can. Why? Go to a weekly chart, right? Double bottom going up, double top going down. What's the next formation that might happen? Maybe this upside down head and shoulders I've been talking about, maybe for about 3 months from now. It's going to take a long time to set up, but I'm still very aware that this could happen. If we have the neckline breakout about 30%, it could happen in the future, months from now. Remember, we still have the Litecoin happening in August. That's still coming up. And we have the SEC rules and regulations for crypto global on September. It's a month later. There's time. There's time for this thing to set up. Now, where are my targets? Fibonacci, low to high on a weekly. Now I understand. We see resistance inside bar. Where's support? 18,401. Another support, 16K. Resistance, 21,320. So these 4 yellow lines is what we're playing against right now on Bitcoin. Set the resistance, set the support. It's this ugly. I really don't like this pattern, but it's what it is. We have a downward facing megaphone. I call it megaphone pattern. Not the prettiest pattern. Somebody could say, wait, isn't it also ascending triangle? That's why it's possible. So now, where am I looking at? I am looking at 18,000K. 18K. 18,000. Somewhere here, we might get this potential battle for the support. Battle for the support. Now, I do want to remind people on Bitcoin, if we use let's use Bitfinex. Let's get an old. We're on a weekly right now. You zoom out all the way. We get a super trend line going on. I'm on a logarithmic scale. Go all the way back. Almost 10 years of data. Here we go. You get this extended line. Now you can see we're bouncing. We're literally bouncing off this support. Not random. Not random at all. Now we have this resistance on the top. So we're at a clear battleground right now for crypto. If we lose $16,000 this year, we are not in good shape on crypto. The battle is happening right now on the chart. You can see we had this low, low, now we're at another low. If we survive this, if crypto survives the interest rate hikes, the inflation, the recession risk, we might have a new bull cycle as well with stocks happening at the same time. Let's say a couple years from now, in terms of a big one. We also had a relative low here. There's a relative low inside the low. Still, this is higher low, and then we hit the higher high. Double top here. That's why if we have this W down here or upside down head and shoulders, then I'm long, long, long crypto. I don't care what the news says. Because whenever we crash, the news was always panicking because that's what the news does. It reports the current status. The price patterns, though, can tell me what are the future potential setup and direction. So we're looking at it right now. The potential future direction of crypto, if we hold this, we could definitely bounce back to 66K or finally get to our 100K Bitcoin. But we must hold. We must hold this weekly battleground. 16,000. We must not go below that, or the price needs to not go below that, hopefully. Now, the opposite case is true. If we lose 16K and bad things go from bad to worse and everything goes really bad in the world for the next 1 year, hopefully that doesn't happen. But if it does, where's our level? Look at 14K, 10K, and then $8,000 Bitcoin. It could hit our low. If this is our lower high, crash back down to 10K. Definitely possible. So we have to understand the market is not going up right now in terms of the whole market of crypto. It's not. It's going down. It's not 2020. 2020, 21, we're going up. And then remember that setup I was talking about on stocks. Understanding when it goes up and then goes sideways, and then what happens after it goes down. That's why I haven't been long that much crypto for like a year or two once I sold at the general top area here. Actually did sell at 65K. Haven't really gotten long that much because I know this is not the bottom yet. All right, let's go to Ethereum. If you have any requests, just let me know before I end the stream soon. If you have any question about technical analysis or charts, etc., just let me know in the live chat. All right, so Ethereum, kind of like an early silver play, is we have this sideways, but double top. Remember, double top at 1700? That's bad. That's bad. It's resistance. And then we crashed 13, 12% to the downside. So what's going to happen next? Potentially, we draw a new resistance trend line on the top and a new support trend line on the bottom. we could see the symmetrical triangle still lives on. 12% to the breakout. So this should have gone all the way down to about 1324 if it's going to be a textbook perfect play. So this is the support level that I'm watching out for. Usually the support levels on Ethereum are good because Ethereum's still a good coin. So I'm hoping that 1200, 1300, 1250 is still going to bounce, and the fears will be short-lived and we can bounce up to 1600. Bearish case, if we lose that, then short, short, short. Or if you're long, just wait. If bears are in control right now, if it's going to be a super breakout, I might consider that long. Double tops are powerful. Cannot underestimate that because that's a temporary block in the price. Temporary resistance block. 5 minute 15. If you're a day trader, let's get some day trader analysis in here. A little bit of hourlies for the swing traders. Okay, we had that bounce. Perfect. Now, if we go to 5 minute, if you're wondering what's going to happen in the next day or two, well, this 5 minute, we're trying to claw back. So if we don't have any more bad information, then maybe the fear is over, right? Because at least in the crypto world, there's a little bit of 5 minute ascending triangle going on right now in the weekend market. So 7% to the upside, which could take us to 1587. Now we need to have a breakout there. So if somebody wants to set alert right at 1500, that's totally valid. Even I'll do it right now on stream. 1500. 5 minute ETH USD. Breakout potential long. Try to get that in there. Where's the support level on this? Maybe like a 1430 or 1400 if someone wants to give it some leeway. So I'm going to add that alert in. 1400. ETH USD breakdown short play 5 minute. That's why if you have a paid account TradingView, alert everything, because then you don't have to look at the screen anymore. All right, let's go to BNB. Binance Coin. So I put this heart emoji for last time saying that could be the support area. This blue top generally is our resistance. So when we get to real setup, I like to use real trend line. Real trend lines, because you want accuracy on your charts. All right, turning into a sim triangle setup here. Sim triangle. Long-term volatility, maybe at 80%. Medium-term volatility, about 30%. Still downtrending. Will it hit the bottom of the supports like Ethereum? Maybe. Where would that be? Somewhere in the 257 range. Get the star for next time. Somewhere here, possibly. Hopefully that bounces back up to about 309 resistance. So we're looking here. It's very simple. Just box the price in. Because the price is gonna, like I said, it has to go down, sideways, or up, and then when it tightens up, it has to make a real move up or down. One of those. Just checking the comments before I go rapid fire and then regress to the crypto. So again, if you're here for the first time or you're new here on TradingView, welcome. My stream is a little bit more intermediate to advanced style. It's not the most, entry level stream, but feel free if you have questions. Just kind of being here and learning from osmosis and just being inside the stream, other people's streams as well, can be beneficial. So now I'm going to switch to a 4-hour chart and let's just rapid fire go down all of these. I'm looking at very short-term price right now. On a 4-hour. So Solana, we did hit this oversold. It's very similar. All cryptos kind of move in tandem, but it's not an oversold setup on the hourly. It's still 55.80 on the RSI. A little bit of this higher low action. Went from the crash, higher low, try to hold above 1683 and get a little bit of a move going on there. Next, Cardano. We did hit our support level on Cardano. Now that target is over. So potential double bottom here, maybe. We're just starting to see a little bit of this 4-hour bullish divergence and momentum happening on 30 cent range. See if we can get that bounce continuation on the subsiding fear, 4% to about 8% target, possibly. If not, definitely crash back down to 29, possibly 28 cents, and then playing that super low oversold would be beneficial. XRP trying to hold actually at this support line about 36 cents. That's good. But XRP as well, on the 4-hour, you did see this double top, lower high formation. Whenever that happens, it tends to crash. So that's forecastable. But when it gets down here at this double bottom area, maybe we'll see if that holds. It's not quite super oversold. I'm a little cautious on that. So holding above 36 cents can potentially be a play. It is in a 1-hour EMA death cross to the downside. Still watching out for that. The very clear setup. 36 either holds, yes or no. Holds, bounce up. No, crash. And then there's an oversold setup for future traders. AVAX. AVAX still in the 4-hour death cross. Now here's an example of when it starts death crossing and we lose the support, which I highlighted from last time. It's down 20% in 2 weeks. Crypto can crash and move. Was there daily resistance? Yes, there was. I remember saying, watch out for that. If that happens, 5%, actually, excuse me, 18% volatility, we hit that actual target. So that first target is met. But if we notice, if we compare apples to apples, purple RSI to purple RSI, it is not, the long-term formation is not set up yet. It's starting in the beginning of it, meaning right here at this horizontal pink line is where it's starting. We're at the beginning of the move, beginning of the attack run, so to speak, for bears and bulls. Fight is about to happen. It's starting to happen. So where would I want to see it? Yes, we're going to get these little 5-minute bounces around, but I want to see big formation and then buy big, because that's where you get your 40, 50%, 100% moves in crypto. So over time, I have become much more patient, much more strict, much more selective with my setup choice. I don't just jump at everything that moves on the market. If you do that, maybe try it in paper trading and understand that, over trading can cause significant losses, which is why I play tighter now in the market, especially because we're in a downtrend as a long. USDT, it is starting to kind of bounce around down here on this low RSI. Is it the perfect setup? To me, it's not. It could definitely go up, but it's not my personal perfect setup in terms of I like getting extreme oversold bounces. You have margin of safety there because it's not even outside below the Bollinger Band. It was for about a day or two in that particular hour. Still downtrending on the H4. So I believe that. This looks like maybe a 50% retrace on the Fibonacci. Oh, 618. All right, so this changes things a little bit. Now that we're in the 618 zone, a lot of crypto traders know we might try to battle it out here, fight for it. In terms of the 525, all right, the next bullish target 572, and then the 50% retarget retrace by $6. We try to fight for that. Now, on a visual scale, it looks something like this: 6-7% stop loss. We might not hit the 14% target, so if I shrink it down to 12, maybe a 6% stop loss, implying that somebody has a belief that this is that bottom support and you have 2 profit targets on the top as the education. Doge is very similar, very similar. We lost that support. Now, low, high, lower, low. Try this very temporary bottom. See if it holds. And if we could get that similar reversal setup, if possible. The reverse is also true. If I wake up Monday morning and there's more corporations saying we lost X millions of dollars or X billions of dollars because of Silicon Valley Bank bankruptcy, and if there's more problems in crypto, if any crypto company goes bankrupt in the next month or whatever, week or so announcement, then this is probably shorting down. There's a higher chance of that. Shiba Inu. All right. So here's a little bit of example of sometimes low RSI doesn't really matter. Sometimes low RSI doesn't really matter. And I think this example was for here. So it went about halfway into the target, not quite the full target. If this was me, I would have probably raised my stop loss. So I'm not going to go into negative, and it would have stopped me out to at least a little bit of profit, like 3 or 4% profit on that particular example. Now that the price has moved down, I should say that the large move, that's already profit taken. So this is pretty much over for me in terms of this was something like this. If you rewind my streams for like a month, is once it got down here, then stop loss up here to take your profit before it crashes on you. Now you can clearly see the loss of the trend line. So if you know your trend lines, once you have that break, game over. Also, there is this ugly sideways head and shoulders, also bearish. What was that move? About 20 something percent, 20%. The downside, where do we go? 20%. First target met. Second target be 40% down here, but that's all all-time low of 2023. Might not get there. Now Fibonacci this, see where we are. 618, double bottom 618 might be a long setup. That's why. For swing trading, you just can sometimes take the risk, and if you're wrong, it's wrong. It's risk managed. Matic still in the downtrend, trying to establish that higher low. Atom, triple bottom, play a little bit of RSI. I like to call it piercing RSI on the swing trade. Gonna have to wait for this one a little bit. Seeing how it goes. 5% to the downside, 10% target, about 12.16. So now I'm getting into trader mode, right? I'm not so much thinking about the news right now. So I see a setup, execute. See a setup, execute. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking if I were to buy Cosmos Atom on whatever exchange, is where's my entry? Potential entry, $11. Stop loss, 10.44. Profit target 1, 11.55. Profit target 2, $12.12. Then the only thing becomes, how much money am I going to put into this trade? For example, there's my entry. And someone might say, this is so pointless. Why do you always talk about this? Because this is the most important part of trading, risk management, stop loss. Profits doesn't matter. Because if I do this correctly, the profit takes care of itself. But if I never have a plan, if I never have risk management, then a trader is gambling. Has no strategy. So if this is the potential setup, let's say this educational, I'm not saying do this, but if this is the potential setup, then all I have to do is, let's say I identified a potential reversal spot. I said, I believe that, wait a second, this is the support bounce. And if we have a breakout, try to play that. Then it depends on how much money, how much risk am I going to risk? It's 5% risk. Right? So then you just bring out your calculator. You just bring out your calculator and say 5%. How much do I want to maximum lose on this trade? Okay, let's say on a small scale, somebody puts like $1,000 on this trade times 5%. How much loss is that? That's $50. $50. So then if you want to have $100 loss, you can do a position size of $2,000 on this trade. And then if you hit the profit target, you make $200 at a very, very minimum in terms of the numbers. Does that make sense? So stop loss of negative $100 maximum. Maximum. Not all in five, whatever your account size is, risking everything in one YOLO trade. No, no, no. That's why people go blow up their accounts and disappear in trading in 30 days, in 90 days. Profit target number 1. So then this is like my minimum profit, trying to get $100 so that I'm not wasting my time, right? And then if I get the $200, take profit here, right? These are not my numbers. These are just very easy numbers for you to understand, right? So it's not really about percentage per se, because it's percentage of what? We're trading dollars. So you still, on the risk management side, we have to think about the dollars or whatever your currency is. It's not just about percentage when you're talking about risk management. So hopefully that makes sense for people. Now, if this one trade fails, I have the stop loss risk management set at about, it's not because there's slippage. So once the stop loss triggers on your crypto or stock exchange, it's usually a market order, right? So the stop loss is going to slip a little bit. So you might have like a $120 loss, but still you capped it. A trader capped it. And we're not trying to go YOLO 100% of my entire account on one single trade. It's very rare that I would do that. Very rare. I need a real A plus, triple A plus setup that any technical analyst would say, yes, that's about to explode and go up to the moon time, right? Very few times I've done that. But when it does happen, maybe I might consider a large position size. But when I see this type of thing, given the current market, is just control it. Control it. And the way to practice this is using paper trading in the TradingView panel. You connect it, come down here, trading panel. Connect it, turn it on. If you ever used it and you don't want to clear everything, then you reset. Paper trading account, $100,000 fake money, paper money. Commission settings, put it to your round trip of your, or one way of your commission. So for me, it's about like 0.05 total. On my crypto exchange, on trading settings, maybe just turn everything on so you could see, you might not need the buy sell buttons. And then what you do is you open up the order panel on the right side, and you need to be in USD. So this is not the correct coin to use, but Bitcoin USD, right? We'll go there in your country, in your currency, and then this will work, right? Let's say you want to buy one. Let's say on a daily, I want to buy. You have to tell the market what. It's like a computer. What do you want to do? You want to short, sell, or you want to buy? I want to buy. For this example, I'll limit buy. It's good to just practice in one unit for practice, because sometimes the fractional units actually doesn't work well or doesn't work at all. So just click one, and then this is the exercise of risk management. It takes a little bit of math, basic math calculation to say, okay, I have one unit. I want to buy where 20,769 or 20,700, whatever the price is. Now, take profit is where at the top of here, 25,000. This is a fake example, by the way, in the price here. And the bottom side, where is my stop loss? Negative 10% approximately. So that's about 18,427. Turn the stop loss on always, 18,427. And now time in force means when do you want the order to expire? Good till cancel. It should be GTC usually. And then you buy. Right? It's at a buy limit. If you want to buy immediately for practice, you could buy market, which means whatever the price is, just going to execute that. You can modify. I might have to do it again. But you understand what I'm saying, right? Or you might have to wait a little bit and then it should fill eventually. Okay? So understanding that at risk management. So again, if a trader has no risk management, then a trader could lose and blow up all their account. Does that make sense? So if it's not calculated like that, I don't like to use gambling references, but if you ever play a card game of Texas Hold'em, there's no limit to Texas Hold'em, meaning at any time, a gambler could bet all of their money. And that's usually the worst strategy possible if we're honest with ourselves. There is a different form of no limit Texas Hold'em card game, gambling game, or card game that's limit, meaning every single step of the way, you can only bet a certain amount of money, like $10 at a time. So that's a safer way. And so to give that general analogy, instead of no limit all in your funds on every single trade, and you're like, why am I losing so much money? Because there's no strategy there. That's the worst strategy for risk management. It's about the limit of how much am I going to limit risk on this trade as a day trader, swing trader. Once you establish that, then it's less about the risk management. It's more about emotional management and then more about the chart setup. So it took me years to like master that. So when I get into let me take this off. But let's go to like a different example. Because it's easy when you're swing trading when the market's not moving and you're like, oh, okay, I have plenty of time. I have 2 days or whatever on a stock to make my swing trading decision. That's why if you're a beginner, I would recommend don't start with day trading. Start with swing trading or investing. So you're looking at the market, for example, when it's closed. Like if you're trying to buy Apple stock, out there. Actually, let me do no, just do Apple, because Apple's the largest market cap stock in the world. Now, when I see this type of setup, let's say I want to go long here. Now, first of all, I have to look at the setup. Okay, I'm not going to get too much of my personal strategy or process because it's just like overwhelming for somebody. But you have to think about it. Let's just be honest with ourselves. The market, like I said, 3 directions of the market. You're either going up, sideways, or down. So these actually have terms. Uptrend, there's a downtrend. Sideways is called consolidation. That's all it is. That's all it is. And now the skill set of, can a trader and analyst identify where are we in one of these directions? So on the daily chart, this is the challenge for a technical analyst or a charting person, a chartist, is the price, let's say for 2022, you have to put a time constraint on it to now, current price. Is the price going up? Is it going sideways, or is it going down? Between the pink to the pink. So if I draw it like this, you can see now it's basically still downtrending. The angle is down still. For the year to date analysis, still down. All right, so that's how you know. Do I want to long it at this spot? It's not the greatest spot. Now, if we look at, okay, you change the time constraints on a daily and say, all right, for past 3 months, are we going up or down? Past 3 months, it's up. Does that make sense? In the short term, it's up, like this, uptrend. But then if you say, wait a second, zoom in even more. The past 30 days, the past 1 month, are we going up, sideways, or down? We're going sideways. In the blue, we're going sideways. The rectangular flag. So then, now I see, okay, I have a plus or minus 7% measured move here. So if we lose the support on Apple right at about 145 area, then I might initiate a short, a controlled risk short, where I know exactly how much dollars I'm willing to risk on the stop loss, how much profit I could potentially make on my targets on the bottom side, and then execute the trade. That is disciplined swing trading, or even disciplined day trading. You have to have stop loss or OCO for day trading, even though it's kind of moves a lot fast. But a trader can set that up through practice. It is discipline. So if we lose that support, Apple usually doesn't short down the first. It's not the weakest stock, so that's not a great example. But if we break out above 7%, above 154, maybe I'm going to go long that. These are simple breakdown or breakout plays. But most people who are new to technical analysis or don't even use technical analysis, like if for example, if a trader is a very emotional feelings type of person, they're very susceptible to the watch list green or red colors. Very susceptible, right? Meaning that if somebody has no knowledge or less strategy, they see a lot of red and they're going to say, nope, I'm not going to look at stocks for a month. It's a negative feeling. Oh, the market's red. I don't like that. I don't like that. And then turn everything off and quit the market. As me, a trader, I don't care what color, what this watch list says. I need to look at the price. You don't get scared about the colors, right? You get scared about the price trend. They're not scared, but you analyze the price trend. So it's more about analysis rather than feelings. The market is not about feelings. The market is about strategies. And strategies comes from knowledge, experience, information, studying, testing. There's a strategy tester down here. There's a screener down here. If you have a paid TradingView account, there's so many free indicators There's so many strategies you can learn from. There's a lot of even visible range. There's price patterns. This was never here like 5 years ago. If you're new to TradingView, this is like the premium of the premium um, tools that helps you, right? What are these chart patterns? What are these candlestick patterns? Once you understand, you study it enough on TradingView, Google, or books like I did, and then you can apply it to the market and get ahead of the market, then you know you're doing fine, right? In terms of the analysis, my analysis was correct. Okay, did I trade it correctly? Yes or no? Then that's it. It's just connecting the analysis to the trading. So hopefully all of that made a lot of sense to you. If it did not, it's okay. It's okay. Everybody's welcome here, and I'm hoping you still learn at least something from this live stream, or that you're inspired by this live stream to practice more or learn more, study more. It is a difficult period of time right now. Life, finances, stock market, economy. But what I learned is, even if my life is generally stable, mental health and physical health and, my own health, family, friends, etc., is then making sure that I stay with the charts at least. I don't have to trade every day. I don't have to long or short every day. Being active is not a successful strategy. Warren Buffett, the richest investor, is saying being passive investor is the best strategy. So it depends on what your goals are, if your strategy works or not, what your knowledge, expertise level is for stocks and crypto. But for me, as my strategies and my style is, I'm selective. I wait. Also, because of my goals, is I don't want to be chained to my desk 12 hours a day trying to day trade crypto. I did that for years. I don't do that anymore. I became a swing trader because of the lifestyle I choose and my styles that I like and my strategies that actually work really well. And I wait for it. And then I attack. Or not, I shouldn't say attack, and then I execute as a trader. If my strategies are not there, I'm not doing anything in terms of trading. I'm just going to chart and just wait. Enjoy life. Whatever's enjoyable. So that's just the mindset I have. I don't try to chase. If a setup is not here on Apple, I'm not going to push for it. It's set alerts and wait for it, and then execute. Now, crypto, however, is a little bit of a different beast because it's 24/7. It's always open. So if there's some emergency tomorrow, you can bet some traders, they are going to trade that and trade the coins. For me though, I like to zoom out. And the analysis of Bitcoin, I still stand by that in terms of, can we get down to the support? At the very least, if I only had to pick two numbers, what am I looking at? We need to break above $25,000 to have a bull run. We need to break below $15,700 to have a bear crash. Very, very simple. Two lines in the sand. That's all I need to know for crypto. As an investor, that's all I need to know for the price. So hopefully this stream at the end here was a little more educational, give a little bit of insight into my thought process, my style, my strategy, and my experience in both the stock and crypto markets. So I'm not seeing any comments or anything. All right, thank you for watching. I appreciate that as well. Okay, so I know it's a Saturday stream, so let's all just relax and enjoy our lives. And I hope you're doing well in life. And again, thank you so much for watching this stream. TradingView, YouTube, Twitch. I'm live streaming. We have a Discord group as well. And remember, let's just try to be disciplined in our trading and our charting. Thank you so much, and hope you have a nice weekend. The next time I will stream will probably be on, because I usually stream on Sundays, but today I had to stream on Saturdays. So I might stream on Sunday the 19th or Monday the 20th. All right, I'll see you then. Thank you, and bye-bye. Okay, I'm not sure if my microphone is on at the end there, so if the sound got cut off, I apologize, but I'm just going to do my outro one more time. So the next time I'm going to stream is probably the Sunday the 19th or Monday the 20th. So thank you so much for watching and following. I'm streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch, and my Discord group as well. If you consider leaving a follow and like, would be greatly appreciated. So I'll see you probably on March 19th or 20th. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a nice week. Thank you. Bye-bye.